Hey there everybody, Sage Popham here, and it's mid-August, and that means it's time for our annual elderberry harvest. And while we were harvesting the elderberries today, I was thinking about how elderberry is used so commonly in the herbal industry and the natural products industry as kind of this short-term immune stimulant, antiviral kind of medicine, which it's really quite profound in that regard, in the way that the compounds in the berries inhibit the enzymes on the surface of viruses that prevent them from invading your cells, and just this incredible protection medicine really on a physical as well as on a spiritual level. But one of the ways that not a lot of people talk about elderberry, which is the way that me and Whitney use it a lot, is as an immune tonic. We tend to think of things like reishi mushroom or astragalus, or kind of a lot of our Chinese herbal medicines, right? You think of those as more as kind of the immune tonics, the things that you do throughout the winter to keep your immune system healthy and strong. And there's not really a whole lot of Western herbs that people talk about in that regard. And this is really how I think of elderberry. I really think of it not only as a deep restorative tonic for the immune system that you can use while you're healthy to keep you healthy, but I also think of it as a cardiovascular medicine. Anytime we have these really deep, brightly colored types of fruits and berries, it shows that they have a great deal of bioflavonoids in them. And bioflavonoids, really, I think there should be like a daily minimum requirement for bioflavonoids, because they're just incredibly healing and protective for pretty much for inflammation, right? These are some of our critical biochemical compounds in plants used to protect our heart, our circulatory system, our capillary beds from the damaging effects of inflammation. So they're very cooling, they're sedative to heat, and we see that these berries are loaded with bioflavonoids. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is the signature. We tend to think of elderberry for respiratory conditions oftentimes, right? For people come down with your standard cough, cold, or flu. And as I was observing the plant here, you got this main stalk coming down, and then it branches off from there, and those branch off, and those branch off, and those branch off, and you keep getting these smaller and smaller and smaller branches until they terminate in these beautiful little berries, right? And I think it reminds me a lot of the structure of our respiratory system, where you have, if you were to just take these two, for example, you've got your trachea here, you've got your two main bronchial tubes here, which branch off into these smaller bronchi and ultimately terminate in what they call the alveoli, which are the air-filled sacs, which is where gas exchange happens in our respiratory system. And just looking at the elderberries reminds me a lot of that. It also reminds me of the capillary beds, and which has a very similar structure, and the gas exchange that happens between the blood and the cells around the capillary bed area. So anyways, I was just thinking about these things today as we're harvesting the elderberries. This is really a wonderful medicine. I think it's a critical herbal medicine to really be acquainted with. And I'd love to hear about your uses of elderberry. If you've ever had any experiences working with this plant, if you've ever harvested or prepared it, got a favorite recipe, I'd love to hear about it. Share it in the comment section below. If you're watching this anywhere but my website, the blog there, head on over to evolutionaryherbalism.com. Tons of free content over there, and lots of free training. So thanks so much everyone for checking out this video. Take care and be well.